My guest is Lauryn Zepeda. Lauryn is a Brunswick County native, lives here in the county, and we've asked her to come see us today to talk about a unique exercise that she's engaged in involving a rescue horse.
That's right.
And training of a rescue horse.
That's right.
It's an absolutely unique concept. Lauryn, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself first before we get into other matters.
Well, I'm a positive reinforcement trainer. I'm self-taught in everything I've done, but it's taken me a lot of interesting places and a lot of really interesting opportunities. And right now I'm currently competing in a competition called LOPE with the United States Equine Rescue League.
Okay. And tell us more about LOPE. Right? Tell us more about the positive reinforcement that you use to train your rescue horse.
Positive reinforcement, that's my personal method that I take, and it's a unforced approach. Obviously, I use food rewards. I choose to not use any form of restraint or negative reinforcement or punishment.
No coercive methods at all.
They're completely free at choice to cooperate. LOPE it stands for Liberty Obstacle Pattern Event. It has been organized by the United States Equine Rescue League, where it has taken a select 10 rescue horses from all different backgrounds, and they've chosen by invitation 10 different trainers and given us 8 months to transform these unwanted horses into... So
the Rescue League gave you this adoptive horse, and was the horse in good health or good shape when you got him?
He had been fostered, and he had been brought back to stable condition. However, all the horses have minimal training. We call them green horses.
Okay. And tell us what you've done the last several months in your training of the horse.
It's been a lot of work. It's been going on since early spring, and it's actually coming to a near close in November. And the horse will be adoptable. Some of the horses will be adoptable. I think some of the trainers have gotten so attached they're adopting their own horses. But will
that be permitted?
That is permitted. That is
Okay.
permitted. You can adopt your own horse.
Okay.
I've been very tempted. The competition is actually separated by certain dates of competition. I believe it's been like 4 or 5 different dates. So I've been training hard and showing hard. Let's
talk some more about the competition.
Okay.
You're competing with 9 others on a nationwide basis.
It's on a regional.
Regional basis. Okay, thank you. And you're graded at the end of the competition, but also during the competition. Is that correct?
Right. We have been accumulating points throughout the competition, and there's a certain, now the final competition in November, it stands for 50% of our overall score. See, we're scored a little less during the beginning stages because the horses actually had less training, so we're scored a little bit throughout the competition. Weighted, yeah. Right.
What are some of the exercises that, by the way, I didn't ask you the name of your horse.
Ranger.
All right. What are some of the exercises that Ranger will perform at the end of the competition, toward the end?
He will be trained in Liberty, which is basically the horse can follow certain instructions and maneuvers with no restraint, no halter, no lead. It resembles a lot of like dog obedience with walk with you, trot with you, stop, whoa, back, circle. Obstacles, which is kind of pretty self-explanatory, water, bridges, to show the horse isn't spooky, he's confident. Pattern, which is different transitions, walk, trot, halt. So they're going to be a pretty well-rounded horse.
Yeah, that description is very helpful to our viewers, because I was wondering myself exactly what they do. And again, so our viewers will understand, you don't use vocal commands, you use a clicker. Am I right?
I mainly use the clicker as a tool. Ranger in particular, I am transferring the sound of the clicker into a verbal cue because I realize that whoever adopts him may not want to use a clicker.
So you use both?
Right. I'm kind of weaning Ranger off the clicker. It's the same concept. Just all I'm doing is the sound of the clicker, it's just a marker saying, oh, that's right, that's what I wanted. So I'm replacing the clicker with a sound, just for whoever adopts Ranger, they can continue with the positive reinforcement method.
Your horse, Ranger, has a great future because of the training that you've provided. But my guess is, and I'm not the expert, there are thousands of horses nationwide that are neglected or become rescue horses. What happens to them?
The fate of them isn't always as certain as what a horse like Ranger's has been, because a lot of the time, you have auctions.
Okay.
Horses end up in uncertain places. They get shipped over borders. They get taken to slaughter. I think that if I was a normal person on the horse market and you were to tell me Ranger was a horse that was severely neglected, I would say, well, that horse must have some trust issues. He's going to be permanently scarred. I wouldn't consider him the same way. Now, this competition has changed me a lot.
Sure.
Because I've seen, I've had this opportunity to work with a horse, and I see he's just like any other horse, if not more thankful to be alive. But sometimes I think they don't get the same shot as any other.
Something to think about on a larger scale. Fortunately, Ranger has you, and you have Ranger.
Yeah.
You've won some national awards, and you've been recognized in some magazines. I want you to tell our viewers about that. You must be I'm very proud for you, and I hope you're proud as well. I know you are.
Thank you. Actually, it was in January that I was published in Horse and Rider magazine, it was through a contest they held that was sponsored by Weaver Leather, and there was 400 other contestants, and that was on a national scale. And that's one of those things that you think will just never happen to you. And I won with a BLM Mustang. It was from the Bureau of Land Management. He was wild caught, which was kind of amazing too.
Now let's go back and say again, BLM is
Bureau of Land Management.
And the horses, those horses or that particular horse was reared on those grounds?
He was rounded up in Salt Wells, Wyoming.
Right, okay.
And he won this national contest, and we got to model a new line of Weaver leather tack, and we got to model it in this magazine, and that just opened tons of doors after being published in that magazine. And since then, I've done a couple other equestrian type TV shows, and I was invited to do LOPE, I believe, for that. Right. And I'm also Wilmington's Women to Watch Rising Star.
I know that, which is terrific, right?
So I believe that opened up a lot of doors, and just things have been happening left and right.
I think a lot of people don't appreciate the fact that there are more than quite a few small horse farms here in Brunswick County.
There are a lot of horse farms.
If our viewers have an interest in this interview and decide that they would like to adopt a horse, where might one inquire?
They would want to go to GoLope.com, and there is a page called LOPE Rescues. And they have a link where you can contact them and inquire about the horse. And there's actually pages on each horse and each trainer and their progress they've made. So that would be probably the best place to go to inquire. Great.
Lauryn, I congratulate you on your success at such an early age. It's very impressive. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.